Up Close and Personal, brought to you by Indivo.com. We understand you.
Dignified, poised, with a quiet confidence that comes not with her name, but with her credentials. Rajshri Birla is the humane face of India's first truly multinational corporation, the Aditya Birla Group. Wife of late Aditya Birla, Rajshri Birla has been an instrument of change. She has spent the last 3 decades changing the lives of the communities linked to the AB Birla Group. Hers is an inspirational story. A story that reiterates the power of using corporate wealth for greater good. Let's get up close and personal with Rajshri Birla. It's a story that began in the 19th century amidst the Thar desert where Seth Shiv Narayan Birla started cotton trade. That became a legacy that his future generations nurtured. It was a stepping stone to what has now become the transnational organization called the Aditya Birla Group. During India's struggle for independence, Shiv Narayan's son Ghanshyam Das became a close associate of Mahatma Gandhi. Being one of the only few audacious industrialists of the pre-independence era, G.D. Birla had a dual struggle. While he pursued business goals, he also actively fought against oppression from the British Raj. It was at the Birla House in New Delhi that the luminaries of the Indian freedom struggle often met to plot the downfall of the British. G.D. Birla set up his industries in sectors like textile, fibre, aluminum, cement and chemicals. It was he who gave shape to the vision that the group would then carry forward. But there remained some cherished dreams that G.D. Birla could not fulfill in his lifetime. Aditya Vikram Birla inherited his grandfather's vision and gave shape to his dreams. In his early days, Aditya Birla had once said, and I quote, "I want to create something big, really big," unquote. His ambitions were not misplaced. Aditya took the Birla Group transnational by setting up 19 companies across 5 countries in Southeast Asia. Long before the economic liberalization of 1991, Aditya Birla had in his own right put India Inc. on the world map. He then took the group from the existing businesses to the new world of viscose staple fibre, linen, palm oil, insulators and carbon black. Soon there came a time when the Birla Group, under Aditya Vikram Birla's leadership, was operating in every sector that modern India valued. All along Aditya Birla's professional growth, there was a balancing factor in his personal life. Someone he would always have as a pillar of support. A companion, a friend, who also happened to be his life partner, his wife, Rajshri Birla.
Mrs. Birla, thanks very much indeed for joining us. Now, you were only 10 apparently when you got engaged, 17 when you got married. What was it actually like for you? Because I believe you met your husband when you were 14 for the very first time.
That's right. So it really happened at a very early age. So, you know,
so were you apprehensive, nervous? What was it like?
Actually, no, to tell you frankly, I was not nervous at all at that time. But later on, as I started understanding more and grew up, then I was more nervous.
As life moved on, your husband was trying to take the Aditya Birla Group and make it India's first multinational company in that sense. Were you also involved with the business side, or what was that experience like as he traveled to Indonesia and so on and so forth?
I always traveled with him,
yeah.
But I was not connected with the business part. I would just accompany him, and I would be there for all the Bhumi Pujas and the plant visits.
What was
there.
that experience like for you, actually seeing Aditya Birla Group sort of become what it is today from the start?
It was very exciting, and sometimes we had to travel a lot. My husband would work till 2, 3 at midnight, and I used to wait for him, and all that was very exciting. I would always accompany my husband, like twice a year we would go to Southeast and visit all the factories.
What was that experience like? Because here was a young Aditya Birla trying to, transform the Aditya Birla Group into the first multinational Indian conglomerate. While you saw that happening, what was that experience like for you?
It was a very learning experience for me too, because I was also interested in manufacturing, and I would also take interest, go around the plant, try to learn, and sometimes even try to give a bit of suggestions, whatever I
What
could
kind of
think
suggestions did you give?
Maybe the designing part of the textiles and all that. So it was a very exciting period.
Everybody talks about his energy, his never say die spirit. What was he really like, and what is the Aditya Birla side or the personality that we don't really know about?
He was a very active person, and he was interested in all types of activities, be it sports, be it things like even cooking or painting, and business of course was there. So he was a very multifaceted person.
And how did, I believe he encouraged you also to finish your college education. In fact, you're the first of the family in the daughter-in-laws in that sense to actually go on there and finish your college education.
That's right. And I would say that my education happened more because of my father-in-law, because he was very keen that I should complete my degree course and be a graduate.
Aditya and Rajshri met when Rajshri was just 14. They were married 3 years later. The Rajshri Birla never had any plans of joining the family business. She did exercise her own choices. For her, family came first, and she spent her time bringing up her son, Kumaramangalam Birla. Little surprise then that after Aditya Vikram Birla's untimely death, a young Kumaramangalam Birla was almost ready to take on the reins of the AV Birla Group.
Take us through the initial years while you were, while Kumaramangalam Birla and your daughter Vasavadatta were growing up. What was that experience like, and how different were the two really, and how different was your approach to them growing up?
When Kumaramangalam was born, I myself was still a student, so it was quite a difficult period looking after him and going to college and studying. But later on, things went smooth. And then we shifted to Bombay, and Kumang started going to proper school, whole day school. And my daughter was born after 9 years. So there was quite a time gap between the two. And so that I could focus on both the children equally.
I was reading somewhere that you said that both Kumar and Vasavadatta are more traditional than you actually are. Is that true?
Yeah, very true.
In what way?
Very true. Because, they are very, they like things to be done the normal way. They're not so experimental.
So you're actually more experimentative than they are?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
With the unfortunate turn of events, Rajshri Birla eventually decided on being more than just the first lady at home. She took on the mantle of chairing the group's social endeavors in 1995 and has not looked back since.
We work into 3,700 villages under Aditya Birla Initiative for Rural Development.
As the chairperson of the Aditya Birla Foundation, established in 1995, Rajshri Birla is responsible for the community and social welfare projects undertaken by the group's 30 companies. This includes providing educational facilities in rural areas, health and family welfare measures, and sustainable infrastructure development across villages, as well as awareness of social evils. As part of this community service, the foundation is reaching out to 2 million people in about 3,000 villages across India.
we started together in 1976. A small setup was constructed in Kalyan near Bombay, and we started in a small way, and then slowly it grew up. The center grew up.
But was this something that you always imagined yourself doing, being part of a community initiative, being part of a development initiative, even as you grew up? Where did this sort of philosophy
Actually,
stem
the
from?
first thought came to me when I was a child. I always wanted to run an orphanage. I would imagine children roaming and playing in an orphanage. That was the first thought. And later on, we got into rural development.
You also sort of spearheaded the efforts to make CSR a more corporatized business model as opposed to philanthropy and charity. Was that easy in the beginning to actually explain that model, not just to people outside the company, but to people within the